Connery Curious.
Saga, Last Crusade, You Only Live Twice, and the Anderson Tapes, Murder on the Orient Express.
You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next. Marty and a woman of straw, and a wounded man in Africa. We are curious of the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
We better record this.
Yeah, we better. We better.
We better.
Otherwise, we'll be shocked to death by our chairs.
We gotta hurry before the meteor hits. It's gonna be here in 2 hours.
Well, I would look away, but I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, Mario, and I don't want to miss a thing. Mario Lima.
Dylan Titus.
I thought that would be a good way to start.
That's a great way to start. Yeah, because this is very this is kind of like the precursor to Armageddon, I guess. So this is Connery.
And not only Armageddon, but 9/11.
Oh my God, we'll get to that eventually. But anyways, guys,
it's a conspiracy theory episode, folks.
Yeah, this is crazy. But guys, this is Connery Curious. Each week, me and Dylan go through the filmography of the late, great Sir Sean Connery. And today, we're back at it again with another film, specifically 1979's Meteor. Meteor.
Directed by Ronald Neame. And Mario, before we jump into something, this is fresh in my mind, so I just wanted to bring it up. Ronald Neame, he's kind of connected to the Connery Curious family tree. He directed a film called Scrooge. Have you ever heard of that film? Not Scrooged, Scrooge. From 1970, starring Albert Finney as Scrooge.
I don't think I've seen that version of Scrooge.
I have not seen it, but I have a copy of it. It came highly recommended from Tess.
What year? 1970?
70. And he wrote a film that was released in 1945 called Brief Encounter, starring Trevor Howard, who is in this film as well. And we forgot to point that out to each other as he showed up on screen. Anyway, so I just had to get those out because I would have forgotten them otherwise. I didn't write those down, so I wanted to keep them fresh in my brain. But yes, folks out there, welcome to Connery Curious, where, as Mario said, today we are discussing Meteor, a 1979 American science fiction disaster film. My brain went way too fast there. Directed by Ronald Neame and starring Sean Connery and Natalie Wood. The film's premise follows a group of scientists struggling with Cold War politics after an asteroid is detected to be on a collision course with Earth, and was inspired by a 1967 MIT report, Project Icarus. Screenplay was written by Oscar winner Edmund H. North and Stanley Manly Stan, who I maybe said this last week, was the screenwriter of Another Time, Another Place.
Hell yes.
And he also plays the Canadian representative in this film. And while he didn't do the screenplay for A Good Man in Africa, he did do the screenplay for A High Wind in Jamaica. Sorry.
Don't fuck with me, man.
I'm not kidding. That he really did.
Oh, man, really?
A High Wind in Jamaica. I don't know anything about the film. I didn't click on it, but I had to make the pun.
A High Wind in Jamaica.
I know a high wind in Jamaica. We are curious. Anyway.
But all right, so let's get into this, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Should I talk about the scores real quick? I feel like we haven't talked about the scores in a minute.
The musical scores?
Oh, no, the Rotten Tomato scores.
Oh, yeah, do it.
Because this one was, I think, one to be talked about here. I want you to guess this week. I'm gonna get Tomato Meter audience score. We cover these every week for the most part. I'm gonna have you guess this week.
I'm gonna
guess Tomato Meter first.
Is that's the critics, right?
That's critics.
40.
40.
And that
Okay.
I'm not guessing exactly. I'm guessing closest without going over.
Yeah, I'll
40.
do prices right rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
40. And then the audience score, I'm gonna say 30.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Dylan, I am sorry to disappoint you, but I'm gonna start the audience score first.
Those aren't my scores, by the way. Those are not.
But this is what you think it could be.
This is what I think people think.
All
of it,
right.
given that even on the Wikipedia it said it received negative
So
reviews.
I'm going to hit you with the audience score first with 500 plus ratings. Audience score was a measly 14%.
Oof.
And
Unfair.
the tomato meter, I could be wrong, might be the lowest tomato meter.
We've ever had.
I think so. I could be
Really?
wrong. But tomato meter comes in at a whopping 5%.
Oof. That is
5.
unfair.
5%. So I'm assuming you disagree with these scores.
Yes. It's not
Okay.
great. I'm not putting this among our top, but this is a decent film.
Yeah, I mean, this is like
That's a beating right there.
because, like, you know, I try not to look at anything about the movie. If I don't know anything about it, the week leading up to the recording, I'm like, I don't want to know anything about it. But like we kind of said, oh, it's a sci-fi film from 1979, and I was like, okay. When I thought of sci-fi, I thought we're going to be doing like Outland again, and the way this movie opens, it feels like that a little bit. It feels like a kind of like a wacky 70s space movie. But no, it's just we're on Earth, a meteor is coming to hit Earth, and we got to find a way to stop it. And part of me was a little disappointed because I'm like, oh, I kind of wanted to see Connery go to space again. But no, it's just a kind of human story with, you know, little action, a lot of suspense, pretty cool music, and a decent cast of people, I thought. So we'll get into that, obviously. But yeah, I also disagree with this 5%. I think it deserves a bit more here.
I agree.
I digress.
Should I do the trailer voice?
Please.
Or would you like to do the trailer voice? Because the one on the Rotten Tomatoes is actually pretty good. And Mario, a lot of people are saying that your voice is sexy.
I don't know why. I mean, I feel like everyone hates their voice.
Yeah,
But
I don't like the sound of my voice either. But my voice isn't sexy. I'll say that.
Oh, man.
Yours is. People like your voice and your tea kettle laugh.
Hey, tea kettle. But I'm told I have on Wrestling's Real, my other podcast.
The dark side is calling now. Wrestling is real.
Andrew says I have a Joey Diaz laugh because usually I'm like really baked for that podcast, and I'm allergic to their cats. I'm not allergic to Mia, but I'm allergic to their
No
two
one's
cats.
allergic to Mia. She's hypoallergenic.
Mia is perfect. I was snuggling that cat the whole day. We were watching this movie together.
I was telling Nicole she loves you. She really takes to you when you get here.
Really?
She comes right to you. She likes when you sit down next to her.
She was next to me on the couch the whole time. Every time I looked over, I was taking pictures of her and stuff. I was like, she's adorable.
You took one of the best pictures of her. I will punch that picture in right now.
Oh,
It's a great picture.
Hopefully that makes it to her Instagram. But yeah, I love her.
It will.
But yeah, I'm usually very wheezy, and I laugh kind of. I have like a wheezy, almost Joey Diaz laugh. We'll punch in a Joey Diaz laugh right here, and that's like what I sound like. Let him in his coffin. Okay, I'll read the trailer voice here. Are we on the?
The Rotten Tomatoes one is the longest, so I figured we'd go with that one because the
That's the
other ones
one-
they're just one sentence on the Wikipedia.
The one
and
that says movie
IMDb.
info in this disaster movie.
Yes.
That one. Okay.
Yes, and also quick note: if you look at the Meteor photos, each one is just you got 4 of the same photos of Connery and Natalie Wood, and then you click to the right and it's just 4 of the same poster, and then you click to the right and it's 4 of the same poster, and then one final one of the same poster. What a lot of photos we got there.
I have this open now, since we're talking about posters. I'm going to show it to you now. Want to see the most jarring poster ever? We kind of alluded to it already. This is the most jarring poster ever.
Meteoro. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's the most jarring.
Oh
that's the
God.
most. That's just the worst. I apologize if that triggers anybody, but it's triggering.
I'm sorry to anybody that lost anybody on that day.
It's just so triggering. But anyways, okay, I'm going to attempt this. In this disaster movie, Americans and Soviets must put aside their differences to save civilization from a huge meteor burying... I'm already fucking up. I gotta start again. Next.
Take it nice and slow. Go one sentence at a time. Hey, maybe try and channel that, in this disaster. I kind of try and you don't have to do that, but kind of just belly into the chest and then kind of, kind of scoop it out into the,
All right, let's see. I'll scoop it. 2 scoops.
2 scoops, please.
In this disaster movie, Americans and Soviets must put aside their differences to save civilization from a huge meteor bearing down on the planet. Paul Bradley, Sean Connery, enlist the expertise of fellow scientist Alexei Dubov. Brian Keith, who is joined by his beautiful assistant, Tatiana Donskaya, Natalie Wood. Although Paul and Tatiana are attracted to each other, they wisely focus on taking out the meteor, which may still cause massive destruction, even if it is partially damaged. I'm partially damaged.
I'm turned on.
Thank you.
I'm partially turned on.
Partially.
That's how so yeah, there's your spoiler. Oh, I'm sorry. First of all, excellent job with the trailer voice.
Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was your first trailer voice, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think this was the first one on the podcast. Ooh, what kind of mug you got there?
Hogan's Beach, brother.
Ah.
Let's see, I can't really focus it.
Where is Hogan's Beach?
That was when I went to. That was during the wedding, during the honeymoon. We went to Hulk Hogan's shop.
Oh, there we go.
And there's Hogan, Andre the Giant, and Mean Gene Okerlund.
Huh.
Hanging on the beach. Yeah, it's one of my favorite mugs.
I dig it.
Let me tell you something, brother. Meteors ain't shit, dude.
I'll punch that meteor to death.
That's how they could have probably solved it. They sent Hulk Hogan out there, and he would have
launched him in a spacesuit,
and he hits it with his head, and it goes a different direction. And that's how
you got the power in you, son. Use the force.
Yeah, the force deep inside of you. His mustache.
That was so dumb.
I love it.
But yes, so that's the little spoiler. Yesterday, I was saying, so we watched this movie together yesterday.
The last hour of it.
Yes, but we're recording separately. Circumstances prevented us from recording. It ended up being quite late in the night, and we knew it'd be best if we started on a fresher foot.
I thought it was a good call, honestly, because I did feel like I had to kind of think about this movie for a little bit. I thought about this morning when I was working on stuff, and I was like, all right, I got to prep for the day, and I was like, okay, I got to do Meteor, and I'm eating breakfast, and I'm thinking about this movie. I'm like, was it bad? Was it good? And I'll give that information later at the end of the episode. But I did some thinking about this, so I think it was very beneficial that we kind of took the time to think about it for a little bit.
I agree. So while we were watching it, I asked you, I'm like, do you recognize who's playing Dubov?
Yeah, I've been wondering this. I haven't clicked on this thing. I should.
So Dubov, the Alexei Dubov, Dr. Alexei Dubov, is played by Brian Keith, who we have seen before as President Theodore Roosevelt in The Wind and the Lion.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And he spoke Russian. Both he and Natalie Wood were fluent in Russian.
And I gotta see oh, now I see it. Oh man, he was next to Robin Williams, one of the greatest Theodore Roosevelts I've ever seen on screen.
Right? Oh wow, yeah.
Look at him. He looks like Roosevelt, but like so did Robin Williams. But this was a more. I mean, yeah, Robin Williams is Robin Williams. He did a great performance in the museum movies, but this was like.
That was top notch. Well, Robin Williams is playing it for comedy.
Yeah, this is like he's playing the actual Theodore Roosevelt, not a mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's man, that's cool, man. What a versatile guy. This makes me want to see what else this dude's done.
I want to see him in more things. He had his own sitcom.
Did he?
Yes. The Brian Keith Show, which aired on NBC from 72 to 74, where he portrayed a pediatrician who operated a free clinic on Oahu, and in the CBS comedy series Heartland.
Oh, is he the dad in Parent Trap?
He is.
That's where I recognize him as well. Jeez, what a resume! That Young Guns, Win the Lion. He's Uncle Ben in the Spider-Man animated series?
Right?
What? I was just talking about Spider-Man the animated series because I'm hoping that they do a sort of reboot, like a continuation, like they're doing with X-Men 97. Can't bring back him, I guess, because I'm assuming.
But you can bring back Madam Web.
Oh man, yeah.
Especially he's never been more relevant.
Imagine a better Madam Web. I'd rather watch that. I think
voiced by Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Hey, if she could actually have a chance to be embraced by the Marvel Universe, she would. I'm sure she'd do it.
My favorite thing, sidetracking to Marvel, because I always do. Marvel's my life. It follows me everywhere. But poor Sydney Sweeney, she was like, in an interview, was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so excited to be a part of the MCU now."
Oof.
And I'm like, who's gonna tell her?
Oof.
She's hosting SNL this week. I think this might be the only SNL episode I watch, because I just want to see if they like kind of dig into Madam Web at all in some kind of fun joke. Benny Hooters. But anyways,
I had one other
explosion.
note on the casting of not Madam Web, of Meteor. One other note of the casting of Meteor.
Imagine if Brian Keith was in Madam Web. That would have been hilarious.
He's that really old man. When did he die?
Yeah, when did he die? He died
97. Not in time to be in Madam Web.
Wait, no, he did a thing called Follow Your Heart that came out in 99 because animated series ended in 98.
Well, he could.
He's only Uncle Ben for a few episodes, so he's not like in it a bunch.
And if he's in stuff in 99, then that's probably late late voice work. He's in Under a Killing Moon, a video game from 1994. But yeah, once you get on film, you could die immediately afterwards, and that footage would be used. Also, I'm sorry, he plays Jim Martinson in the Jamaica Ginger Story episode of The Untouchables TV series from 1961.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my other casting note is, do you remember when Connery is zooming like we are, and a British man approaches the TV screen, and I'm like, it looks like Bernard Lee, and you said it looks like Q. You know who that actor is?
That's Trevor Howard.
Trevor Howard, who we've seen before in The Offense.
The Offense.
And hold on, I'm building to it. Have we seen him in anything else besides the one I'm about to say? The offense. Well, all right, fuck it. The most important one. He plays King Arthur in Sword of the Valiant.
There it is. There it is.
Yes.
Good to see him again.
I feel like we've seen him in another film as well.
I might have seen him recently because he was in 1978 Superman.
Yes. Yes.
I watched that recently to go to bed one night, and which is always funny. I always put bangers on, like I try to go to
fall
bed.
asleep.
I'm like, let me put something on just to kind of because I like nostalgic movies to like because they make me feel comfortable, and like I'll try to fall asleep to them, but then I'm like, oh, but I got to see this scene from Superman.
Oh, what'd you fall asleep to last night? Oh, Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. Oh, speaking of
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. The kind of important news to talk about here because we bring this movie up a lot. Did you hear the Naked Gun news?
No. That there's Nazis in America?
No, they're rebooting Naked Gun with Liam Neeson.
Yes, I heard that.
You heard about that? And like
Yes.
that's kind of a fun
Yes.
visual. I think that's going to be fun.
That works. He has to play it like not as Frank Drebin, but he has to play it like Leslie Nielsen would. Leslie Nielsen, Liam Neeson. Wow. Oh my God. Leslie Nielsen, Liam Neeson. Wow. Oh my God. Hey.
Wow.
Leslie Nielsen, Liam Neeson. Wow. Oh my God. Hey. Leslie Nielsen, Liam Neeson. Oh my God. Hey. I messed it up. Anyway.
Liam Nielsen.
And Leslie Neeson.
Hell yeah.
Anyway.
That's crazy.
So yeah, Trevor Howard played Sir Michael Hughes in this film, and he played Sir King Arthur in Sword of the Valiant, which is... Wait, who did he play in The Offense? He plays Detective Superintendent Cartwright in The Offense, and he plays King Arthur in Sword of the Valiant, which, I'm sorry, longest fucking segue ever to say that if you're not a Patreon member of Connery Curious's Patreon, well, I think it might be time to hop on. Because
we have some content up there, finally.
Yeah, well, not finally. I mean, there's still stuff up there. For everybody, every tier gets access to all the past mini episodes that we've done and more to come. So there's that up there, and we just put up more of. So you get new episodes every week if you're a $5 or $10 member. You get the new episodes new. You get them 1 week early. Excuse me. At the $5 and $10 tier, and also for the $5 and $10 tier, you get movie commentaries. We just uploaded a movie commentary for Sword of the Valiant, 1984's Sword of the Valiant. We watched a fresh, crisp Blu-ray copy of it, and boy, did it look good. We had a podcast sleepover. Mario, it was one of the most fun times I've had doing this podcast.
It was so much fun. It was cool it was exciting to see that movie again. And I hope you guys will watch along with us because I feel like that's the one we've had a couple people say, yeah, after hearing you guys talk about that movie, I want to see it now. So this is your opportunity to watch it with us.
Especially because we didn't like it at first, but it's become like our
favorite
holy grail.
Our favorite movie. And we changed some of the scores on there. So you'll have to tune in to find out what those scores are now.
Exactly. Yeah, the only canon scores you'll hear are the ones that are in the free feed. But yeah, if you listen to the commentary, you'll hear our updated score for Sword of the Valiant.
Yes.
So yeah, log in, sign up for the Patreon tiers, and snuggle up, just like Mario and I did, with the movie commentary, Sword of the Valiant, and put on your copy, and watch Sean Connery get his head cut off. And,
Spoilers.
Miles O'Keefe looking fine.
Miles O'Keefe. Yeah. All right. Excellent.
All right. Sorry, that's enough Sword of the Valiant fantasizing.
All right. Let's get back to Meteor.
Meteor fantasizing. This rock makes me hard. Alrighty. So, wow, this is a long Wikipedia, but I can blaze through it. Shall I?
Blaze it. Yeah, blaze it.
Yeah, man. When my mom was over earlier, I checked my phone and like 4:20, and then I high-fived her, and she like looked so disappointed in me. All right. After the asteroid Orpheus in the asteroid belt is hit by a comet, dozens of asteroid fragments are sent on a collision course with Earth, along with a 5-mile wide fragment that will cause an extinction-level event. While the United States government engages in political maneuvering, the smaller asteroid fragments preceding the main body wreak havoc on the planet, revealing the threat. The United States has a secret orbiting nuclear missile platform satellite named Hercules that was designed by Dr. Paul Bradley. It was intended to defend Earth against a threat like Orpheus, but instead was commandeered by the U.S. Armed Forces to become an orbiting weapon now aimed at the Soviet Union. After many calculations, it is determined that the 14 nuclear missiles on board Hercules are not enough to stop the asteroid. The United States has known that the Soviet Union also has a similar weapons satellite in orbit called Peter the Great, with its 16 nuclear warheads pointed at the United States. Needing the additional firepower to stop Orpheus, the president goes on national television and reveals the existence of Hercules, explaining it was created to meet the threat that Orpheus represents. He also offers the Soviets a chance to save face by announcing that they had the same program and that their own satellite weapon. To coordinate the counter-effort between the two countries, Bradley requests a Soviet scientist named Dr. Alexei Dubov. I think that's where we'll leave off.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got about four paragraphs left, so we'll do it in thirds like we usually do.
Excellent.
All right, what do you got for notes, my friend?
All right, so a couple things here. I'll kind of go through. One, since you're talking about that first paragraph, I'll jump on that real quick. Half the time, my first Bond connection, but it's not a Connery Bond connection. Every time I kept hearing this Hercules project, it reminded me of Heracles
from No Time to Die.
From No Time to Die, which was like M's like special project that was under wraps. So every time they said
it was inspired by Project Icarus, which is the villain's weapon in Die Another Day.
Yeah, so there's a couple of Bond references there. But yeah, I kept wanting to see that. And I have another Bond thing in a second, but first I'll give it its due here. I love the intro of this movie. I think it's very exciting. It's that kind of cheesy sci-fi feeling movie. That's why I'm kind of like, oh man, are we going to see laser guns and Connery in space again? No,
the Spaceball 1 goes flying by slowly.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like the beginning. I think we made a bunch of Spaceball jokes while watching this movie. And one also, which I didn't really get to make on my own, is that transition of Connery's boat floating in space, and then we get the shot of the ocean, and I'm like, Treasure Planet?
I loved that. Where the stars fade away into the ocean.
Yeah, but
that was beautiful.
You think there's a boat in space? I'm like, is this Treasure Planet, man? This is insane. But that gives us our first Sean appearance I marked at 3 minutes 42 seconds. Are we on?
High five.
High five. Whoosh.
Wait,
made it.
Hold on. We'll do one over here, and then we'll do one over here, depending on who's got the edit. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom. Boop. And 3, 2, 1. Boop. Oh, we got to go to the edge of the frame.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
And his first quote is, "Give me the horn," which is kind of fun hearing him say that.
I also wrote that down.
And then my last note for that section is so my second Bond moment when he gets to the office there,
the MI6 entrance,
and he sees Moneypenny.
Exactly.
It's like,
and Moneypenny owes him money.
Yeah.
Penny.
But she sounded like what's her name who played Moneypenny a little bit too. So I'm like, this it feels like Bond always kind of followed him. We even talked about it in the last episode of Extraordinary Gentlemen, that like Bond always kind of follows him around.
And then he goes and gets briefed by the boss.
Yeah.
I got for notes, speaking of Superman, it's the Superman credits.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
Put that side by side. So I got Brian Keith. Okay, did you notice this name in the credits? You still have it pulled up? Sir Run Shaw.
Sir Run Run Shaw.
Yeah. Sir Run Run Shaw, a Hong Kong businessman, filmmaker, and philanthropist. In 1964, after their discovery of a small main belt asteroid between Mars and Jupiter, Chinese astronomers at the Purple Mountain Observatory named it 2899 Run Run Shaw in his honor.
Whoa.
I just thought it was worth noting. I didn't know what it was, who he was, but I didn't know what the phrase was. I didn't know if that was the production company, Sir Run Run Shaw or something. But Run Run Shaw was one of the producers, and he was knighted. All right. Yeah, 342, Give Me the Horn, Stanley Mann, MI6 entrance. All right.
I have what? You have more? For a section?
Yeah, Major Tom was my next note, because he's one of... Major Tom to ground control. An asteroid's coming to take my soul. Anyway, so he's one of the the astronauts killed by the asteroid explosion. All right, you go ahead.
Yeah, so I had a little, real quick, one of my favorite quotes, Connery, is, why not stick a broom up my ass? I can sweep the floor as I walk out.
Yep.
I love that quote. That's probably my favorite quote.
I took a screenshot of that moment. So I took some screenshots. That's Connery looking damn handsome and deep into his eyes. You can see space in his eyes. Then we've got the meteor that looks like a penis. Approaching a butthole. I don't know what my thought was for this.
I think we're complimenting his jacket because Eric Gary, our good pal we saw earlier that day, had a very similar jacket.
Yes, that's why we took the screenshot. Yes. Brian Keith. Yeah. Oh, look at that outfit.
He is the turtleneck with the jacket is the coolest shit ever. Ron Jeremy.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, as Mario said, we watched the last 40 minutes last hour of this movie together, and yeah. So I also took I think I had a screenshot of. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, no that's a quote I'm gonna pull.
Go away. I could be right back.
Yeah, I'll do that for the breaks from now on. There's Smiling Man. And there's the font, GTA font, as you pointed out.
No, the metal gear.
Oh, there it is.
Metal Gear.
Why don't you stick a broom up my ass? There we go. All right, I'll punch that quote in.
I can sweep the floors.
Why don't you stick a broom up my ass? I could sweep the carpet on the way out.
Speaking of quotes and audio and stuff, I could not unhear this. I didn't want to say it until we did the podcast, but I noticed it mostly around 8:14. What did you think of the music in this movie? Like, did you think it fit?
Mario, I didn't do any of my ratings except for my score of the score.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only one I was certain on. That's the only one I could write last night.
So you don't have to give me a number, but like you liked
I liked
it?
the score. Yeah, I really liked the score.
You know what I can't unhear?
The synthesizer coming out of the.
Meteor. Oh,
Meteor.
that too. But there was kind of it was only kind of the first half of the movie that I noticed. It did kind of have a certain central theme, melodic couple of notes that were very prominent in the score.
Don't wanna close my eyes.
And I want to see if you can. Hopefully, you can hear this.
Okay.
But you're not going to be able to unhear it, I don't think, after I point it out. So listen.
Sharing with the sound.
Yeah. Can you hear this? You hear that?
No.
Hold on. Da, 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 da. Oh, you know why? I gotta do this. Make a cut here.
Flowing like the river Jordan.
So let's do that. I'll do the audio. Okay, ready?
Yes.
So listen to this piece of music and see. Tell me, do you hear anything familiar?
Okay. Yeah, it's Star Wars.
You hear Star Wars?
Yeah, but this would have been before Empire, and it sounds like
Well, you know what I hear.
What do you hear?
Da 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 da.
Play it again. Play it again.
Da, da, da. That happens at least 3 times, and it's funny. I keep hearing the Pokemon theme in there. But it's only the first da 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 that kind of hangs there. But it's very. We did make a comment. It's very Star Warsy. A bit there, and we had a conversation about like John Williams kind of took a lot from these type of films. So
well, a lot of people took from these types of films because that kind of music is not from these types of films, from these types of musical themes. They're as old as the hills. You know what I mean? Like you hear them in 1700s, 1800s works of classical music. Real quick for punch-in reference, what is that piece of music from Pokemon? Is it the main? It's one of the Game Boy like menu themes. Is it like the red and blue menu theme?
Yeah. Let me just for clarification. Let's see. Oh, I got it right here. Yeah, just look up Pokemon Red and Blue opening theme. It'll come up. Yeah, perfect.
Cool, thanks. I just want to be able to punch it in and be accurate and not spend 9 hours searching for it. Anyway, any more notes on this section?
No.
Shall I continue with the Wikipedia?
Hit us with it.
Bradley and Harry Sherwood of NASA. They're not brothers. That's Dr. Bradley and Harry Sherwood of NASA. Let's try that one more time. Paul Bradley and Harry Sherwood of NASA meet at the Control Center for Hercules, located beneath 195 Broadway in Lower Manhattan. Major General Adlon is the commander of the facility. Dubov and his interpreter Tatiana Donskaya arrive, and Bradley gets to work on breaking the ice between them. Since Dubov cannot admit the existence of the Soviet device, he agrees to Bradley's proposal that they work on the theoretical application of how a theoretical Soviet space program's weapons would be coordinated with the American platform. Meanwhile, more meteorite fragments strike Earth, one inside Siberia, and the Soviets finally agree to join in on the effort. Both satellites are coordinated and turn toward the incoming large asteroid as smaller fragments continue to strike the planet, causing great damage, including a deadly avalanche in the Swiss Alps and a tsunami that devastates Hong Kong. With hours remaining until Orpheus's impact, Peter the Great's missiles are launched first as planned because of its relative position to the asteroid, with Hercules missiles timed to be fired 40 minutes later. All right, let's take it from there.
Yeah. We'll start with you. What do you got notes-wise there?
This isn't in my notes, but with the state of the world as it is today, isn't it crazy that this film is about the United States and Russia, two the great enemies of today, as well as of all time, working together? Wouldn't it be nice if we could do such a thing?
Yeah, right.
Instead, but there's so much political red tape, and this movie's about that. And as was Wrong is Right. You know how many connections we made to Wrong is Right?
Dozens.
Which, Mario, it hit me today, another film with the World Trade Center.
Yeah, we've seen the World Trade Center 3 times.
This, Wrong is Right, and what's the other one? Finding Forrester?
Oh, 4. Because
Maybe.
what's the movie? It's one of the ones he plays. He's in the helicopter.
Oh, Next Man. Next
Man. Yeah. So
we cut with Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. I love that clip. He's Spider-Man, old like 60s Spider-Man.
Nicholas Hammond. Well, speaking of old superheroes, I made a note that the Russian representative. Let me make sure I get my names right here. Well, the girl skier is played by Sybil Danning. and she's killed by the avalanche. That I wish we could have seen George Lazenby and Diana Rigg skiing down.
Yeah. Or Roger Moore.
Okay, so there's a TV movie called The Death of the Incredible Hulk. It's one I grew up watching it 1,000 times. Philip Sterling plays Dr. Ronald Pratt, and he's trying to cure the Hulk. And he plays in Meteor, and he's in Meteor as the Russian representative. Yes, I'm correct. Sorry. That woman looked like she was in The Incredible Hulk. What was her name? Pat?
The blonde woman, yeah?
Yeah. No, not Pat. What's her name? Jan. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, Catherine DeHetry. Here, I'll share my screen. I'm sorry. I'm just doing this blankly. Oh, no. Meteor, yep, Jan Watkins.
Oh, $6 Million Man. Maybe you saw her from that.
I never really watched that all that much. That's it? 12 credits? That's it? Wow. Okay, well, I guess she wasn't in the Hulk.
One of those faces, I guess.
Huh. Saint Elsewhere was her last work. Well, maybe she had a different life afterwards. Anyway. Yeah, it's just really interesting to see. I liked that it was the frustration of Martin Landau's general character. He just doesn't believe in the facts, and that's what finally drives Dr. Dubov over the edge and be like, fuck it, I'm calling Russia, we're making this thing work. That was a great moment.
Yeah, that was insane. Yeah, because that was very frustrating. I was like, just let them cook, man. Let them deal with this, because then you're gonna really regret it once things go down. But it's some good performances here in this film. Some really top-notch performances, I think. Not the greatest film of all time, but just some breakout moments here.
Brian Keith was great.
Yes, tremendous. Of course, Brian Keith is our new favorite actor now. Now that I know who he is.
Natalie Wood is great, and we've seen Connery act just 3 years earlier with Natalie Wood's younger sister Lana in Diamonds Are Forever.
Yes, and I enjoyed Carl Malden as well.
Carl Malden, yes.
Malden,
he was great.
He was dope in this movie as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of top-notch actors in here.
A lot of fun moments with him and the Russian officer. I forget his name. The sort of head honcho. Is that Rolf or something? What was it? No, which one? Which was the guy that they were translating for?
Dr. Dubov.
Dubov. Was that him? Oh yeah.
Oh wait, no, Rolf Mannheim.
That's what it is.
That was
Oh no, it's Dr. Dubov. I'm sorry, but him and Dubov really had some fun moments. Them playing chess together. Was them playing chess together? I forget, but I know there's that moment with them when he's trying to he's like, I gotta call the Russian embassy.
Yeah,
and
he's playing chess with Rolf. Yeah, that's Barry Gibb that you were talking about.
Oh yeah, it's a different person. Okay, but I'm talking about Carl Malden and Brian Keith. They were kind of had some fun moments together.
When he's helping him dial the phone,
whatever, and he's
and it's behind the glass so you can't hear.
Yeah, that I love that that bit of he's yelling and yelling and goes to a soundproof room and he's still yelling, and it reminded me.
And the
of
music flares up. It's all patriotic and happy and gung ho. We're gonna blow up the missile today.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that bit from Ace Ventura, the first one, when
right
punch that in. But yeah, there was some fun moments there with them. So yeah, I like that we had a couple of moments like that we could have a little bit of fun, and yeah, it was some funny characters. And yeah, like you mentioned, Barry Gibb, that was like our favorite character because we had like a whole backstory for Barry Gibb. He was like, he just wanted to go home. He was so tired.
Just wanted to sing with his brothers. Yeah, he kept fucking nodding off.
Yeah. The most important part, they're like launching the missile, about to launch them simultaneously with the Russian missiles. And he's like, we'll have to find a shot of him, like his eyes are half closed. And everyone's like looking at the monitor. And he's just sitting there like...
And
we had that bit of him falling down. He hits the button.
Everyone's like, no, the one person that can hit the button is asleep, and they're like leaning back in their chair, and then they lean forward and they flop onto the desk and hit the button just in the nick of time.
Smack the button. Oh,
and everyone's
man.
whoo. Another Henry Fonda as the president.
Oh yeah,
just the president.
Just the president. Not any specific president, but the president.
He did a good job. I liked him. I really enjoyed Natalie Wood's performance in this film. She was kind of hypnotizing, and her eyes are so big, and they just pull you right in.
I love the fucking cafeteria in the middle of all this.
Right.
Like when Connery goes, let's go get some lunch. I'm like, where the fuck are you gonna get lunch at a time like this?
Of course, there's gonna be a cafeteria. And why wouldn't you get lunch at a time like this? Hey, okay, I have a theory that this is the same character, Nils Talvik, as he is in Ransom. Nils Talvik, excuse me. And while he's in the middle of negotiating a fucking hostage situation, he's like, I could go for a shower. So you got time for this shit. You know?
But I really wanted to be like a guy like, pouring soup or something and like working the cafeteria, working the buffet.
I got nothing else to do. If it's the end of the world, I might as well, get shit done.
You ever see that robot chicken bit with Star Wars where it's which one is it? It's which Jedi is it? The one with the really long neck.
Yarrow Poof.
Oh, Yarrow Poof, whatever.
Yeah,
and he's working.
Go with the pizza.
Yeah, but
it wasn't reimbursed.
Oh, I never get reimbursed. I got the coffee.
Car in the shop it is.
But
I feel like we've brought that sketch up on this podcast more than once.
I love that sketch, but the continuation of that comes later in the episode is when it's Palpatine and Vader are at the cafeteria.
Yes, and he's working.
Lobster bisque, and they're like, "Wait a minute, I said something in the Force," and he's like all nervous because he thinks he
didn't
got
give me
found
any
out.
crackers.
You didn't give me any crackers. No, he's like, "Let me get some of the crab bisque," and he's like, he drops the ladle, and he's like, "No, that little ladle, clumsy."
Ladle.
I like that word, ladle. I wanted Yarrow Poof to be working the cafeteria.
Well, just pulling up this picture, I don't know. Like the first thing that goes to I see is her eyes, like they're like huge windows to the soul. You know what I mean?
All I see is the amount of fucking plasticware that fucking Connery took. Look at his hand. He has so many like butter knives in his hand. He doesn't have any food. He just has he has a little salad, I guess. But how many forks do you need, Connery? Jesus Christ!
Also, a nice wooden bowl.
Yeah, look how nice that is.
Anyway, so
good catering.
Well, some passionate chef down there.
Also,
what else?
In that same sort of 5-minute span, we get this really great shot of the two pinball machines. We kind of hope that we wish there was a 007 pinball machine behind them. It would have been hilarious. We should Photoshop that in.
It's 2001: A Space Odyssey, and what is it? Sky.
Oh, right here, Skylab.
Skylab and 2001: A Space Odyssey. Which, can we talk about that? 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Of course.
And how much this film kind of wants to be at points. Those slow shots of the missiles turning.
There's a lot
firing.
of that.
I sped the film up to 1.05% just to move it along, just a tad, and it didn't really help.
But a lot of fun transitions, which one I would like to actually showcase here to have lined up for us here.
Of course. My point with the slow missiles is that you could put the classical music from 2001: A Space Odyssey, because that's what it's trying to feel like. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dun, 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 dun. And as the missiles fly towards the asteroid. All right.
But yeah, can I bring your attention to like one of the coolest looking fucking chandeliers ever?
I loved that thing. It
And-
looked like fucking Electra's size.
Yeah, or like it's like something you would see in Doctor No's base or something. But we get one of many pretty cool transitions of the zoom in, and there's the satellite with the missiles. I'm like, holy shit! How
It could have been done better, but
fun.
it was good.
Like, yeah, they didn't really line it up properly. But it's still kind of cool to like, because like right there you see that's a shot of Connery laying down, looking at it.
It doesn't help
correct?
that they're going in different directions. Because like the chandelier shot is moving to the left, and then the missiles are moving to the right.
Yeah, but like that's just a cool chandelier.
Yeah, that is
Kinda.
a great chandelier and a really cool transition. I wish it was executed better.
But
I also
speaking of
really like the
which-
way the film opens. I like that opening.
Yeah, I want to find the boat real quick. There it is.
Yeah, so cool. If you use the left and right keys, it'll move 10 seconds.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, such a cool.
Like, look at that, just floating around in space. Like, that's well done. Because some things in this movie, not
Don't look great.
Just the flying piece of poop in space in
The
front
penis
of me.
rock.
It looks clearly bad. But this was like really well cropped. Like they were able to really get it to look proper. Like you can see where they cut it, but like it still looks really really good. Like look at that, yeah. You still have the water in there. You couldn't really cut that out. You can see where it's trimmed, absolutely. But I think it's really cool.
That looks really nice.
A part of me wishes
It's
it
very
was
pleasing and relaxing.
Yeah, like I say, a little Treasure Planet like looking. But part of me wishes it was his little desert vehicle from Deadly Lens. I keep calling it Deadly Lens because you got me that poster, so that's all I call it is Deadly Lens.
You said that was the Metal Gear Solid font?
If you look up like the Metal Gear Solid font, like I downloaded one recently to like use for a poster for something.
Okay, I see it.
It's very Metal Gear.
Are you referring to this red one here?
Yes.
Like that, yeah.
I mean, look at the font right under it. Yeah, that's why I downloaded the red one I downloaded. Like that's
okay. I get what you're saying. And
yeah, side by side it looks pretty similar.
and then they got that cool like split down the horizontal split down the middle.
Little cut. And but if you look,
And the doubling too.
yeah, because and then they have like a little bit like maybe I'm mistaken. Early Mission Impossible movies, but it had that kind of font. Not really, but like I want to say it is.
Mission
I feel like-
Impossible font.
I feel like Mission Impossible had a weird font in the early days. Like the.
I feel like it was that. Like or that.
Maybe I'm thinking about that. I think I'm thinking
Yeah.
about that. Like
I like that. That's a nice one.
yeah, but see, it has the line going through it a little bit on some of them. So
Yeah.
it's a spy espionage thing. That's what Metal Gear is. They're like espionage games. So maybe that's just the thing. But yeah, I think this really compares to Metal Gear for sure. That's why I kept. It's in my notes. It's every day stamp they give you like Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like Metal Gear font. It's really weird.
I was just trying to see if they had named the 8th one, but they haven't.
But if you look at like, I was kind of going through posters a little bit earlier. There are some better fonts used than the other ones, but some of them are just fucking lazy. This is like one from looks like a VHS release. Just this looks like a romantic comedy or something.
Yeah. Oh no, that's an MGM DVD from like 2000.
Yeah, look at that. This is like a Godzilla or something.
That looks like a dime store novel.
Look at that. That's insane. But that
The
font
world under attack from outer space. And even then, it's going to hit the Twin Towers.
And in this one, look, the font's even worse. They cut it in half and like move it over.
Well,
a
no,
little bit.
that's how it is. It's just that's
that
how
how
it
it
is
is
in the
in the
movie. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
see?
I guess it
but
is, yeah.
but if you go back to that one, Yeah, see, that's how it looks. I like that.
I
That's
like
a nice.
this.
That's a really nice Blu-ray cover.
That's a good one.
And because it's a Blu-ray cover, there's no Twin Towers on it. But go back to that one, all the way to the right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That. It's the same effect, but it's a worse font.
Yeah, that weird, like, kind of gradient
Yeah,
inside.
it looks like shit.
It's
It looks like
not
1989.
That's me looking at the font.
Exactly.
This makes me want to go get lunch now. Look at this.
And play some pinball.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of, we got to go to Free Play to finish that
Yeah.
Dr. No pinball video
Actually, funny enough, this looks like the inside of Fellini's.
for the Patreon. It does.
Where's your Fellini's?
Now I want some pizza.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this movie has a lot in common with Armageddon. It has a lot in common with Don't Look Up. These are films that I feel have probably drawn upon this film for inspiration, as well as you pointed out, the movie.
Yep. And I also pointed out Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, Sherman's nightmare sequence. Which, if Andrew Lima is listening, he'll appreciate.
But I think what it really is the most is Space Jaws.
I've never seen Space Jaws.
No, it's Jaws, but Space Jaws.
Oh, I thought it was like one of those like Sharknado situations.
No, it's just this movie is Space Jaws.
The Jaws in space, yeah.
Because it keeps cutting to innocent people just going about their lives, and all of a sudden, a rock attacks from space.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's like you cut to the two dudes on the dock and it's like, oh, it's my wife's Christmas meat or whatever, and throws it in the river, and then the shark pulls the dock right off. You know what I mean? Or you got your innocent boater out there that gets attacked, or in Jaws 2, the water skier and the shark attacks the boat, and the woman just pours gasoline all over herself for some reason.
That's right.
So it feels like there's like innocent victims of the meteor that are like just going about their business, like the Eskimos in Siberia. It's like just it's suddenly daytime outside, and then oh no, the meteor.
Which we don't see if they actually die. We don't see them die in. Holy shit! By the way, can I just like ADD moment? This looks like it could be like a fucking like Walking Dead poster. Oh, dope that kind of looks.
Oh my god.
That's kind of a cool shot, isn't it?
That is so awesome. I just screenshotted that. That's fucking awesome.
Like I want to like say like, don't come in dead inside or whatever. Like the first episode of Walking Dead. Like
I want the poster to his right to be like a poster for one of his movies.
Oh yes.
And now, so we got Denise Con Casper. Oh, hey, dude, the person that just sold me that standing desk's name was Casper.
Oh man, look at connections.
Yeah, that could totally be in The Walking Dead or a zombie film or something.
Yeah, so fucking badass. Dude, there's some cool imagery here. This one too, I feel like to cut out the fucking pictures of like both of Natalie and Sean, but like just that image of like,
whoa,
how badass is that? It's like you're getting the end of the movie, but like it's just cool because like you're seeing the imagery of like the Russian missiles and the American missiles going for this fucking meteor. It looks fucking badass.
That's playing on Star Wars from 2 years earlier for sure.
I think
you guys
so,
like
yeah.
things blowing up in space, right?
Yeah, I'm literally looking at an Empire Strikes Back poster right in front of me here behind my monitor, and it looks like the same artist might have done it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's pretty.
That's
dope,
a beautiful painting.
Yeah, it's some cool imagery. Where if we ever bring back the poster shootout of like our favorite posters, some of the alternate posters are really good. I think Meteor has some contenders here.
I think we should do that. Maybe like as a mini episode, we like take an hour to just research and like pull our 10 favorite alternate posters or 10 favorite posters in general, like whatever we can find.
Like maybe you pick a few and I pick a few and we kind of share them together.
Yeah, be like, here's the top 5 favorite ones that I found that stood out to me the most.
Yeah, there we
unique.
go.
And just the amount that there are, I guarantee we won't have any that are the same.
Yeah, I feel like we like certain ones different, and there's a few we really like together, I think. But yeah, I think we'll. Yeah,
we can't choose the wrong is right gun barrel poster.
Yeah, I love that one. I think that might be my favorite poster.
That's why I got it for you.
Yeah, I think that's that one, and I have a few. I have a few favorite ones, which. Yeah, we'll do that. That's a fun. That's a fun. Put a pin in that. That's gonna be a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good mini episode.
Oh my
Stay
God.
tuned, Patreon members. You okay?
The trailer.
Oh, the flashing lights. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole fucking trailer, dude. Like,
That was rough last night when we were watching it.
Yeah,
Those
we're like
flashing
yeah,
lights
yeah,
when the asteroid or when the missiles finally hit the meteor.
in like a dark room, and it's like, oh my God, like I thought.
Violent flashing lights. Yeah. I think maybe the warning I'll put at the beginning of this episode is if you're watching this movie, it'll just be now. If you're watching this movie, there's bright flashing lights when the missiles hit the meteor. So when that's about to happen, and trust me, it's slow enough that you'll know. Trust me.
You have about 5 minutes to prepare.
Exactly. It's like, okay, let's just turn on all the lights in the room just to be safe and look away. So yeah, it is bright and fast, real fast strobe effect, and yeah, if I wasn't, I'm already pretty sensitive to it, but not like overly sensitive to it, where I would like have a seizure or something along those lines, but it got me. It got me good.
Yeah, I'm usually good because the years of going to like rock and roll shows and playing on stages with strobe effects, I'm usually okay with it. But that just like came out of left field. Did not expect it. So if you don't expect it, then it's like holy shit,
But even that, there's a limit to live shows, like how much they'll strobe because of people in the crowd. And also, this movie was made 45 years ago, so it's. I don't know. I don't think those standards were in place for trailer editing.
She just didn't exist back then, you see. So we put as many strobe lights as we wanted to.
Yeah, Caesars didn't exist, and ADHD, all you crazy kids. Shit didn't exist. You're making things up.
Medicated, how dare you? Come on.
There were no gay people in 1979. Kids are making it up. It's just Sean Connery just doesn't understand.
Gay? What is gay? I don't understand.
What else do I have? Okay, so there's some moments in this movie that can really be described as ASM Meteor.
Ooh.
Yeah, I tried to make a pun there. But there's some very ASMR moments in this, specifically the meteor itself.
Yeah,
can be
that.
very relaxing. Exactly.
We'll put it in here. Dylan has a very impressive little home sound system for his television.
Thank
so we kind of got to hear that in full effect. So if you watch this, maybe try if you could watch it in headphones or on a sound system. It's very pleasing. I think that's why we got a better effect of it. Maybe anywhere else we wouldn't have really gotten it, but yeah, it was.
It really hit those super low frequencies that tickle the hairs on the back of your neck.
Oh yes, I'll find it, but we'll try to find an image of it. Punch in here. Shout out to the countdown calendar for the Meteor that someone had to build
and paint and
like put the lights on it. And I'm trying to find an actual we saw it like a million times. Where is it?
Damn it, Steve! One of the bulbs in the Meteor calendar went out. You got to change it. How will we know when it's coming?
It's like, all right, everyone out. Wait, not you, Frau. Not you, Mini-Me. Not you, henchman holding wrench.
But also, like, imagine all. I'm just as a tech guy, like that. Like earlier in the week, I was fixing intercoms in a school. So like there's so many little teeny tiny things that can go wrong. Like one of them just wasn't working because the connectors weren't greased enough. That was all. And so the little things like that, and some engineers like, oh shit, I accidentally set it to 23 hours on a cycle. So yeah, it's good enough. And it just throws the whole operation off.
There it is.
He's like, well, other than that, I'd have to unscrew the whole thing and take it down, and it's pretty high up. I'm not getting up on that ladder. Sunday.
Yeah, of course. There's the Metal Gear font, and someone made a
Time to
Meteor
impact
trajectory. Time to impact. They had to put
Days
all
zero.
the specific dates.
That's a slide out card too. Somebody's got to get up there and slide that card in and out.
Yeah,
So they had to make the days card too, and it looks like that's all on one card. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 7 days. There's 7 cards that each say days 1, days 2, and they had to be manufactured in plastic so they'd be sturdy and and put up there. Someone's got to get up on the step stool and fucking take out the old one and put the new one in.
Like, why would you make this? Who had the time? We have to prep for this meteor, and while we're prepping it, all right, we need Johnson to make a meteor trajectory graphic for us. Like that's like me having to make a freaking like graphic for like one of the podcasts I do. Can you make this quick graphic for me? Can you Photoshop like fucking Hulk Hogan on a beach for me?
Today it would be the news outlets being like, can you Photoshop us a YouTube thumbnail for our live stream countdown of the asteroid gonna hit us?
Yeah, I want this as my starting screen for my streams. It's just like the red is gonna come up, and be like meteors almost coming to impact.
And also, remember when the dude steals the painting in China when the
Oh my god, the stupidest
shit.
The stupidest shit to fucking steal. Like you're about to be fucking engulfed by water, and you're like, I gotta steal this fucking painting. I want the backstory to be he was looking at that painting for weeks, and he was like, one of those days I'm gonna afford this painting. And he passed by and said, fuck it, it's mine now.
a prequel movie of like 5-minute love story of like he passes through that subway station every day on his way home. I've got the hiccups now. I'm laughing so much. And he like sees the painting one day. He doesn't really pay it any mind. But one day after a really hard day at work, I'm squeaking away with these hiccups. His boss really chewed him out that day, and he's walking home and he sees the painting, and it just like the classical music starts, and he falls a little in love with that painting, and he goes home and he makes love to his wife in a different kind of way. But and then he endeavors to buy the painting, but it's too expensive, and you see the shopkeep turn him away wordlessly because he just doesn't have the fund, and the bank turns him away for the loan. And then the meteor comes in. The meteor is coming. He goes, honey, this is my moment.
I'm getting that painting.
But what about your family? What about me and your 4 kids? No. Anyway.
But like seconds later, you see a kid stealing an apple, and I made the comment like, "Oh, at least that kid was a little smarter and like stole something that was probably a little more useful."
Well, it turns out, Mario,
apples don't float.
When the flood hit, exactly, that boy had eaten the apple, so he was heavier, so he sank. The man with the painting was able to ride the painting to safety. He floated on.
It was like the end of Titanic. He's floating on the painting, but his wife is like hanging on. It's like, let go, Jack.
And because it's a canvas, it's like it's stretched around the wooden frame. He flips it over and rides it, and no water gets inside the wooden frame. He uses a little raft.
I'm pulling it up right now.
But anyway, I brought that up because now imagine when the asteroid's about to hit New York. Everyone's evacuating the building, and somebody frantically grabs the countdown, the asteroid calendar. They grab that. There it is. Hey!
My painting now.
Also, hold on. Take it back 10 seconds to show the painting again.
Hold on, it's coming back. I think. Did it go back 10 seconds? Oh, it didn't go back. Hold on, go back, you fool.
Go back, you fool. For the painting, go back.
Here it is. Coming right. That wave is scary looking. Though. Look at that.
It is a scary wave. Folks, I'm sorry for all my hiccups. Now, pause it before he steals the painting. Pause. Okay. Both those paintings are like in a prime spot for stealing.
Yeah, right.
They're blocking access to other paintings. Anyway.
But look how slick he is with taking it too.
Whoop, whoop.
Look at this
And
guy.
the guy behind him looks like Bob Dylan.
I would say we made a comment that one of these guys had a Paul McCartney wig. He has a Bob Dylan wig on.
Right?
Just takes it. And then here's the kid taking the apple. I'm like, there you go. That kid was smart.
And the mom's like, "Oh, you didn't steal one from me." Shit.
Shoves him down, takes the apple, keeps walking.
By the night, they just keep every food stand they pass. They're just stealing more. Like, we gotta get. Oh shit, we need toilet paper. But yeah, imagine in New York as the asteroid is coming, somebody runs by the asteroid countdown billboard and takes it down, steals it for themselves. I can't fucking deliver this as I'm hiccuping. So yes, cuts to the same thing, but in New York, and somebody frantically steals the Meteor countdown sign. I can finally deliver the goddamn joke.
But no, I think we were both kind of like sad because we see it get destroyed and everything, and we're like, oh no, they couldn't save the sign.
It's the true casualty.
And then real quick, here is our real hero of the movie, Barry Gibbs, trying not to fall asleep at the monitor. Just he's blinking so much. He's blinking so hard trying to stay awake. He's like, I've been here for 16 hours. I just want to go to bed, bro.
I'm the only one who knows how to use this computer because it's 1979.
He's the only one.
Okay, so let's just wipe out the rest of this, huh?
Yeah.
Immediately prior to Hercules missiles being launched, a splinter fragment is discovered to be heading towards the command center in New York City. If the center is destroyed, Hercules will not be able to launch. You'd think they'd have redundancies for that. With seconds to spare, Hercules receives the signal to fire from the command center and launches its missiles. The splinter impacts the city, destroying the top half of the World Trade Center Twin Towers in a direct hit, creating
so
a large crater in Central Park. Yeah, you want to talk about that before we finish the?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, just
Yeah.
kind of like I have it pulled up funny enough, as you're describing it, that's playing because I'm having the movie play. It's just, it's the most jarring image because we're kind of like, oh, hey, wouldn't that be ironic if it hit the Twin Towers? And as we're saying that, it does, in fact, hit the Twin Towers, and it's really scary to see. Oh, that's like, even though you could tell it's clearly a model, it's a little triggering.
Yeah,
It's a little odd. So I wonder if this is what kind of forced people at the like lower ratings because people maybe were uncomfortable by this or something. Because that's like, as I was showing you earlier, a lot of the alternate posters are
you can
really
stop sharing it now.
good. We're like, kind of not glorifying, but
That
like
was the
this,
big
like,
moment of the film.
it's like the big moment should be. That's why I like the one of the missiles going towards the rock itself.
Yeah. Well, and you think about how movies are pitched on things like when you see a poster for the original Planet of the Apes, what is always on the poster? The Statue of Liberty
On the beach.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like a hook for a movie to be like, come see this movie. This thing, something messed up happens to it, and it's fine in movies, and then it happens in real life, and people die.
Yeah, it's just
And
like
it's
really
not fun anymore.
Yeah, it's just really. I mean, on the same token, it's not like they predicted the future. It's like, it's just a movie. At the end of the day, how many times we've seen, again, the Statue of Liberty get attacked in a movie, or like walk around the Ghostbusters 2, or like anything, or in the new Ghostbusters, the New York is getting frozen over, or stuff like that. Like we see that all the time in movies, but it's not meant to be like anything on the future. But it's just it's a spooky thing because remember when the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, one of the first
the
trailers.
helicopter gets caught between the World Trade Center towers.
which is a cool shot. And
really
then,
cool shot.
Unfortunately, but they had to take it down because the tragedy just happened.
I think there was one trailer where they forgot to take it out of the reflection in his eye.
Really?
Maybe. Or they forgot to take it out of one trailer or something. So there's one trailer that exists during the, post 9/11.
Yeah, because you never see the towers in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. So, so sometimes, people try to take it up. But at the same time, people do try to kind of, pay tribute to it because you think of a good example from what I remember, the latest Transformers movie set in 90s New York, and you see the Twin Towers recreated there, and they kind of have a moment where they show it, and because I've talked about that movie before. It's like that movie made you feel like you're in the 90s, and having that kind of shot of kind of like a like homage, like a like really, because that every movie back then, that's always going to be the most iconic building in New York.
The Empire State Building.
Yeah, and the Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty.
But if you're every time there's
and of course,
shot of the city,
E. Jean Carroll Tower. Hey, sorry, topical reference.
Hey, but yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like going back to the Meteor, it's like it's what it was at the time, and they can't maybe they could have cut it out. Like you just have it like go over the Statue of Liberty at one shot
and just hit New York,
and it just have hit New York, and just take out the actual impact on the tower, because it's a shot of like someone out shot at the bottom of the towers, and then it cuts to the model.
I would cut the impact entirely and just cut to
That's
the
what I'm
basement.
saying.
Cut to the basement.
That's what I'm
It'd be
saying.
way more
Don't
terrifying.
Don't shoot a tower at all, because then later we have that really cool shot. It's not like amazing, but it's like you see the city, and it looks normal on the sides, but you see where the rock slid in to the city, and that's a cool looking shot. But just have that, and that's it. Like I would have liked it if even more artsy thing would have been like just have it. You see the rock coming in, and then cut to black, impact. And then you open up to the destruction. That's what filmmakers today would have did. Back in the 70s, they weren't that artistic. They're just we're going to show everything.
They're very artistic. I just think it maybe wasn't the decision in production. Maybe like okay, the big moment for this movie will be we're going to blow up the World Trade Center with a meteor. Maybe like that, because maybe that was the hook for the action scene of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got the avalanche, and you got the tidal wave, and you got, well, what if it hits a notable monument, notable landmark, and the way I would have done it, asteroid coming in, or meteor, excuse me, cut to everyone in the basement, just waiting, solid shot of everyone just kind of waiting, people holding their hands and whatnot. And then the lights go out, and then that's it. Like the light, you can still see, but the lights go out.
Like you think they're clear for a second, and then
the lights, all of the lights go out, and it just starts fucking violently shaking.
Yeah.
And it becomes like one of those moments that you need to experience in a theater kind of thing, because you're experiencing it as if you're in that basement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You only have, that it's coming because we show, like I would, if I were to direct this, I'd show the meteor coming in. And so you as an audience member know, oh God, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. You hard cut to the basement, and everyone is just waiting. So now your brain goes, oh God, when is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? Boom! Lights go out, fucking violent shock. And some good sound effects. You're just gonna shake the IMAX theater, man.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be one of those things where we come out of the theater and go, that moment where the meteor hit New York, oh my God.
Poor New York, man. dozens of movies where New York just gets fucking manhandled crazy.
It's a perfect city to have movie destruction in.
Yeah.
You know, it's literally what a great, you have Godzilla destroy a city because it's literally a bull in a china shop situation.
Yeah,
you know,
a big creature next to things that are the biggest things that we know normal day to day, or skyscrapers.
And they're so tightly packed together.
Yeah, like we look at our fair city of Providence, Rhode Island. We have the Superman building. Imagine if a monster the size of the Superman building was in the city. Like, holy shit, that's insane. It's insane.
It would burn through Providence pretty quickly.
It'd be like two things. It's like, well, I guess I'm done here. I guess I'll go home now.
I'm in East Providence now.
I guess I'll go home now.
Back in the bay.
Up to its knees, and it's like, this is not fun.
This water's kind of dirty. Anyway. Hey, there's a concert going on the other side of the bay there.
He's watching it. He fights the big blue bug.
Yeah, right.
That'd be a great movie. That'd be a great movie.
Or he
Godzilla
just sees it and gets scared and backs into the water.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, sir.
My bad.
Sorry, Mothra.
My bad.
Okay. And yeah, obviously we get a fake bomb on top of the World Trade Center in Wrong is Right.
Yeah. Jesus.
So no threats to it in The Next Man, thankfully. Okay. Several workers inside the control center are killed when the facility is partially destroyed by the collapse of the building above, and the survivors are forced to work their way out of the control center by going through the New York subway system, which becomes a trap due to water from the East River flooding the tunnels.
Or poop.
That was so good. Like, somebody drinks it like it's the chocolate river, and then you're like, well, no, they plug it with every digit that they have, and then they catch it with their mouth.
Yeah, like two holes get blocked and one more opens up, and like, keep going. I got it here.
If his mouth fills up.
So
Anyway.
gross. But shout out to them, man, because I hate being wet with clothes on. Like if it's raining heavy and I have just a couple layers of clothes on, I hate it. So kudos to them for having to frickin' swim around the chocolate river for God knows how long.
Oh, same. I hate being out in the rain and coming into those wet clothes. It's terrible. I hate sweating in my clothes. It's terrible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I like sweating like after a good workout or something. But like if you fall asleep with a long sleeve shirt on or something and you wake up in a sweat, it's the worst.
It's the grossest.
And yeah, it's pretty gross watching all these actors be covered in fucking chocolate water.
chocolate rain.
Some days dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate rain. A meteor will wipe the earth clean. Okay. Meanwhile, the two flights of missiles link up into three successful larger waves. The Hercules crew reaches a crowded subway station and waits while others try to dig them out. Eventually, the missiles reach the meteoroid. The first wave of missiles strikes the rock, causing a small explosion. The second wave follows with a larger blast, and the third wave creates an enormous explosion. When the dust clears, the asteroid appears obliterated. In New York City, the radios broadcast the good news. Orpheus is no longer a threat to Earth. Just then, the subway station occupants are rescued. Later at an airport, Dubov, Tatiana, Bradley, and others exchange goodbyes before Dubov and Tatiana depart on a plane for the Soviet Union.
It's right there. I think we discussed it watching it, just kind of like, and I know we kind of thought like Connery gave Tatiana a bit of a forced kiss, but she was kind of into it because they were kind of they clicked. They definitely clicked. So I think it was kind of like,
Yeah, it's definitely an unasked for kiss. Yeah, these are some little tiny problematic aspects of this character, which we noticed because it's not even like drawn attention to in the movie. Like the kiss isn't even a moment. You know what I mean? Like that's not. They don't even change camera angle. There's barely a close up on it. he just kind of she's walking away. They exchange pleasantries, and then she starts walking away, and he kind of just tugs her back a little bit and just kisses her. And just based on the fact that she doesn't slap him alone right there, and she appears very calm. So it's set up that her husband was a cosmonaut that was lost in space, and that he is separated from his wife. So they're both single.
Also, I just realized that he has a Fozzie the Bear Muppet in his bag.
Yes, he does. Oh my God!
How fun is that? I just noticed that. I love Fozzie.
That's fucking awesome.
Look at Fozzie. Waka waka.
And they're walking.
Walking.
So, and a huge missed opportunity for him to not take the bat and go fuck the Dodgers.
That was like we were almost cheering for it because that
was the one English phrase he knew.
We didn't really mention that. That was like, he's like, from what I say, to quote someone that my taxi driver when I arrived in New York said, "Fuck the Dodgers," and then Connery hands him a Dodgers baseball bat signed by the Dodgers, and he goes up to the top of the stairs there to get into the plane, and that's all he needed to do is turn around, look at New York, and say, "Fuck the Dodgers," and then everyone would have been like a
he saved the world, but he offended all of New York.
And that would have been like a real like Naked Gun way to end the movie, and it would have been hilarious, and that would have been a funny way to end the movie instead of having that creepy kiss.
Yeah, big missed opportunity. Did you want to play that kiss?
Oh yeah.
Let's make a having seen it already. Let's make a second viewing judgment on this. Let's determine if this is a creepy thing or not.
Let's see. There he is. Fuck the Dodgers.
Okay,
so
handshake. Tug back.
It was. She leans into it.
No.
A little bit when she like pulls, but it's one of those like classic movie tropes of like romantic movies of like, you know, like The Notebook and stuff like that, where like the guy pulls her in. It's like, come here.
Yeah, but like it's like a rough. Like he doesn't let go of her hand after a handshake, which is that's a step too far. Like don't let go. That's a push. And then like, yeah, that's a bit pushy.
But I
the
feel
real
like,
go ahead.
I just feel like that move in his. Think about it if you were in his shoes. You were really kind of clicking with this woman.
Yeah, and you may never see her again.
Yeah, so it's like, let me just shoot my shot and be like, here's a kiss, no words. And when they get to the top, they're like, he says, I think he says right here, it's like, you'll be coming back here soon, I can tell, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you know, hey, we saved the world together, and I'm really digging you. I knew we didn't really have a time to like click, but I just wanted to let you know. I'm feeling
There's Paul McCartney here.
And there's Paul. And then, yeah, so I think you'll come back one day, perhaps. And it's like, I think that was like a nice thing because it wasn't like, you know, we didn't see him hook up or anything.
She likes him there. Like that look is of approval and wonder there. But the real disservice is that the film doesn't like. It's just that one shot. You know what I mean? It doesn't. The film. It would have behooved the film to just cut to a close up. And then a reaction shot from her where she, like, is a little taken aback but then smiles. You know what I mean? That would have validated the moment to make it, like, less questionable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, to be like, okay, yeah, she was unwilling to acknowledge that she also wanted the kiss too, and it happened. So.
Yeah. So yeah.
Same thing. They saved the world. They might as well celebrate.
Yeah. So I think all in all, I don't think it was it's forced, but it's like also like not like in a pervy way. I just think it's like, hey man, I don't have a chance to like get your number. We were kind of busy taking care of Meteor, but we kind of clicked during lunch, and you know, I want to let you know that like, you know, I'm digging you.
It has the vibe of like she would have asked. She was always too nervous to ask, so he did it, and then. When she gets to the top of the stairs, she's like, "Oh yeah, I was too nervous to ask. I want to see him." That kind of thing. Like, I don't know. You're so involved in your work, and her husband had died, literally lost in space, whereas Connery's just getting separated and seems to have a good relationship with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
So they're in different situations. So she has every right to be a little taken aback, but then like kind of allow herself to open up a little bit more and be like, okay, I guess I can have feelings for somebody else besides my cosmonaut husband. So, who is now a skeleton floating in space.
Oh.
Sorry. So yeah, that's I got Nils Talvik from Ransom because they kind of feel like the same character, and I wrote Bond feel. So a lot of things in this movie feel like a Bond film.
It does, yeah, with the office stuff, with just the kind of like
The countdown,
the
space launches,
these minutes in counting, all that, and just him trying to get. He really is kind of like. He's not like a super spy or anything, but he is still a hero. He's trying to help everyone try to get out into the subway. He looks like a hero in that sequence again, where we kind of compared it to The Walking Dead a little bit. You know, he looks like a badass because
along with the money penny sequence.
Yeah, the money.
He's literally given a briefcase too of like, your clothes, 007, from your ex-wife, packed lovingly.
But yeah, the vibes of him like arriving there. He's like. You know, it's kind of like where would you find Bond at the beginning of a movie? He's like on a boat. He's trying to enjoy his life. It's like, oh, they're calling you in. Like he's so pissed off about how pissed off he is. He's like, I don't want to go to work, bro. I was like, just trying to enjoy my time at the. I love this. Look at his head. He's so pissed.
Fuck you, Lyndon B. Spacin.
Look at him his run. But look at him. He's like, yeah, I'll probably be back in a few minutes. Please don't leave. I want to get the hell out of here.
That guy sits there the rest of the day, never collects his fare.
They should have cut to him when the meteor was coming down. He's still parked out front. He's still
exactly.
waiting.
Just like Airplane.
But so yeah, this feels very Bondish.
I like that black shirt.
Yeah, that brown jacket. He has a white turtleneck and a black turtleneck. He kills a turtleneck, dude. But this office is very 70s with the wood paneling on there, and there he goes
into M's office.
Yeah,
they cut to the other side, and it's a padded door.
Yeah, I wish it was a padded door. Oh man, I know a guy that does upholstery. I want to get a padded door in my office.
Hell yeah!
I want to see if we could do it. But
can I take a Connor P?
Yeah, sure. So, do you have any more thoughts or notes before we go into like the ratings?
No, I was wrapping it up. I think that'd be a good time to Connor P before we do the ratings.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Don't go away. I could be right back.
We got to have British Bond Addict back on. And
bring his bird, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys need to both have your birds. And I'll just have a fake bird.
It's a fake bird. Go find a pigeon outside.
I got birds right here. Got some birds right here for you.
You bring a pigeon from outside. Like, where'd you get that bird, Dylan? Oh, I found it outside.
It's attacking. Help.
It's flying everywhere.
My eyes.
And welcome back, guys. We're back from our Connor peeing and our drinking refills, and we're ready to go in because it's the final section of the show, guys. Your favorite section, I'm sure, is the scoring of the film. We just covered Meteor after our discussion. If it's your first time here at Connery Curious, first of all, welcome. And second of all, this is the part of the show where we like to rate the film itself, the man himself, Sean Connery. Also like to see if the SHs, how thick is Connery's accent in this? Also the score of the musical score and the sexy rating. Is the movie sexy? Is Connery sexy? Is there anything sexy about this film? So we'll start off with the SH. Dylan, let's start with you.
It was pretty thick, actually. I'm not going to lie.
I sensed it as well. I sensed it as well. Many Bothans died to get this information.
Many Bothans died to bring us this information. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
It was pretty thick. It was pretty prevalent at points. Excuse me. Pretty prevalent at points. Whoa. He did Meteor and then he did Outland. 2 sci-fi films in a row. And Time Bandits, 3 sci-fi films in a row. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like it's very thick here. Let me pull up. I'm just play the audio of it. Especially when he's angry, it gets a little crazier here. So we'll kind of.
Especially when he's angry as Hulk.
Look, it wasn't my decision to turn Hercules. Turn Hercules into what? What did they turn it into?
Will you listen to me?
Hercules was never designed to be a nuclear weapon with 14 warheads pointing right down on Russia.
Not only Russia.
Or China, where the hell else? Those rockets were supposed to point outwards, not in.
Outwards.
Yeah, that's pretty
Outwards.
thick.
So it's definitely in. Like he has that it's very like sharp and stern, but like he's also like he's so mad that like he's slobbering a little bit, like outwards, not inwards. So it's there too. So I'm in that range, but I think I want to give it just a little bit more. I think I'm going to give it a 6.5 on my end.
All righty. Oh, sorry, wrong screen. Okay, 6.5. All right, so an average of 6.25. Let's move on to the sexy rating. Also, I'm sorry, one quick thing I want to address here. I'm looking at the screen. I realize I'm not screen sharing it with you at the moment, but you'll see it down below here on the final video. He had a busy year in 1979. He did Cuba, The First Great Train Robbery, and Meteor.
And you can tell because look at the fucking stash.
You're right.
He's got the Cuba stash and Great Train Robbery. He had more of a curly, bigger
he's so sexy in
stash.
that film.
Oh yeah.
Speaking
that's what I want to put on the commentary list. I want to see that again.
Oh, dude, yes, 1,000%. Let's do a commentary for First Great Train Robbery.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the sexy rating.
Oh, he has a beard, not a mustache.
Does he not have a mustache?
Yeah, he has. Can we say he looks like Kevin Smith in that movie?
Oh, yes. So let's move on to the sexy rating. What do you say?
Sexy rating. Let's hit it.
You want to go first?
Sure, why not? All right. So anything sci-fi immediately does not mark you as a sexy thing. You know what I mean? Very few sci-fi things are sexy.
What are you talking about?
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. When I think sci-fi, I don't think sexy. You
Really?
think sexy when you think sci-fi?
Yes.
Sometimes.
I think
Certainly.
sci-fi can be very sexy. I mean, you got your obvious Leia in Jabba's outfit.
Yeah.
You've got Barbarella. Have you ever seen Barbarella?
I've heard you talk about it several times. So yeah.
What a sexy film. That film
gotta
is
see
all
that.
about sex. Like, the climax of that movie is literally a climax.
Ooh.
Like, anyway.
But yeah,
so I think sci-fi can be pretty sexy.
Yeah, I think it can be sexy, but I think this definitely wasn't the case of it being sexy. It's very, it's just a cliche meteor situation. We've seen a million times of like just a meteor. I'm assuming this movie sparked a lot of those cliches of meteors hitting the Earth, and we got to find a way to stop it. I do enjoy the Connery and Natalie Wood situation. I think it's fun. It's not super sexy, but it's definitely you can feel a little bit of tension there. Definitely feel it outside that airplane. That's for sure. But this movie is not sexy in my opinion. But that's not discounting some of the featured players here. Connery, of course, looks like $1 million. If we're talking about Cuba era Sean Connery, what do we give him for a sexy rating in Cuba?
8. You gave him an 8, and I gave him an 8.5 for an average of 8.25.
Yeah,
and that movie was helped by Chris Sarandon and Brooke Adams.
Yeah, now
Especially
Cuba,
Brooke Adams.
Yeah, because Cuba is a sexy movie. So, like if I could give individual rating to Connery as just being sexy, I would stick with that 8. But his looks in this movie don't carry it as a sexy film. So I think I'm going to stick it at a 6.5. I think Connery holds his own as the sexy man, and some of the guys look good. We had Catherine D. Hetre. I can't say her name right. She played Jan, the blonde, beautiful girl. Natalie Wood, beautiful.
Those eyes.
And even Brian Keith, not really sexy.
Handsome man.
He's a handsome man, but he's not really he's not really playing handsome here. But just because I know who that guy is, I'm like Brian Keats is a handsome man in general.
You've got Sybil Danning as the skier girl that gets killed. She's she's like a B movie sci-fi staple of sex
I had
symbol.
a picture of her up earlier when I was going through pictures, and I was like, I thought in my head, I'm like, oh, she was very pretty. I didn't really pay attention to her when she was on screen because it was such a short time. But yeah, absolutely, she was very, very pretty. And oh, there she is. Yeah, let me just show her real quick. Oh, there you go. Pretty. Right. If you're good, I'll buy you an ice cream, you know?
You get your clothes on, and I'll buy you an ice cream.
And she comes in and sits down at the the restaurant, and then everyone gets murdered by an avalanche. Okay, can we talk about those destruction scenes real quick?
Oh, just the hit and miss. Some of them hit, some of them really missed for me. Because obviously, 1979 technology did what they could. Some of the space shots looked good. Some of the asteroid shots looked a little convincing, but some looked very rough. And then you look at some of the destruction scenes of like the obviously bucket of water being poured on like a driveway next to a cityscape. You know, looked a little goofy. But yes, I think we mentioned earlier in the show just that sequence in China of that massive wave looked very scary. Whatever B-roll that is from, it is still very scary to see, and I think it's very effective. And we joke that Godzilla might be under that wave. You know what I mean? It looked like the Godzilla 2000 when he's showing up at the dock. You know what I mean? It's just like really cool. So yeah, I think some of them hit for me, and then some of them missed, which I'll probably talk about in my final score later on. Which that definitely added to the final score. But yeah, what'd you think of them? Did you like enjoy them? The same boat?
I thought some of them were like the avalanche. That was brutal. It looked like people were really getting swept up into those drifts.
Oh yeah, you see them like they're having people like tumble around in fake snow or real snow, whatever it is.
That was the worst one. That was the best one. That looked like it was the worst damage wise.
Yeah,
like it looked like people were really getting fucked up.
And again, even the we make fun of it, the kind of poopy escape. Even that's very tense, and the initial explosion in the laboratory of like everything falling apart, and we see like that poor girl gets squashed. Yeah. Well, we don't see it happen. We see the after effects and everything, and this like really insane. When we almost lost Sleepy Barry Gibbs. He
gets his bottom half crushed.
Oh no!
But he makes it out.
I just clicked to the part where the meteor sign falls down. Oh, it's so sad.
Oh
it's
no!
Sad to see that thing fall down. But yeah,
what's the time code? What's the time code of that?
It's exactly 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 48 seconds.
Awesome. Punch that in. Okay, so to go back to my sexy rating, I'm sorry about that. I think that Connery is very attractive in this. So for reference, Cuba was before this in two films were before this. So there was Cuba, in which we gave him an 8 and an 8.5. And then the First Grade Train Robbery, which you gave him a 9 and I gave him a 10 on the sexy rating. He's not a 10 in this. I give him a strong 7. He's a handsome man in this. Natalie Wood is gorgeous. You got Sybil Danning. You got the actress that played Jan. Is that what her name was? Was Jan?
Yes.
Yeah. There's some beautiful women in this film. There's some handsome men in this film. I'm going to give this film a 7.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a 7.
Okay.
So our average sexy rating is a 6.75.
Excellent.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So our next rating is the musical score. You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
So musical score, as I say every week, when I judge my musical score, I like to think of something that's like, memorable. I think this movie did have some memorable tracks in it, especially when I had the Pokemon theme stuck in my head a little bit. But even just the beginning of the kind of like, just cliche sort of sci-fi, spacey sounds happening. Sound design. We don't really talk about sound design when it comes to the score, but I think some good sound design in this movie.
Eric factored that into his score of Bowler and the Bunnet.
That's true, yeah.
He factored sound design into his score.
Well, all three of us are sound nuts, so of course we're going to talk about the sound of things. So the music is great. I like the little patriotic thing we talked about earlier. When that's fun. It's like might as well just play the Yankee Doodle Dandy, and then let's go kill that meteor. I think some good music here.
The music was done by Lawrence Rosenthal, and some other things that he's done is A Raisin in the Sun, Naked in the Sun, A Naked Raisin in the Sun, Two Naked Raisins in the Sun.
I was going to say, what is this? Where is this DVD collection?
trying to see if there's anything that we would recognize. Easy Money, a TV film called License to Kill.
Oh.
Starring James Ferrantino and Penny Fuller. Mario.
Yes.
What was the name of the Russian missile satellite station in Meteor? What was its name?
It was... What was it? Peter something?
Peter the Great.
Peter the Great, yeah.
Right? Yep, Peter the Great. Okay.
Did he do a movie called Peter the Great?
In 1986, he directed a TV miniseries called Peter the Great. Lawrence Rosenthal. Or no, I'm sorry, he didn't direct. He did the music. I'm sorry, he did the music for a TV miniseries called Peter the Great.
Okay.
He did the TV series of The Bourne Identity.
And he did a...
The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
I was just going to read that. And he did Catherine the Great in 1995.
Oh, my God. This is a pretty great filmography for him.
Yeah, that's all
a lot of TV work.
Yeah, all I really remember is Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. That's the only thing I recognize besides what we just watched today. But yeah, I think some decent music here. I think I'm willing to give it like a solid 7. I'm like, it fits the film. It hit where it needed to hit. It hit the suspense points. It hit the happy points. It hit the sad points. It made you feel how you're supposed to feel, how it was intended to make you feel. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I think a solid 7. I think it's fine. It's good.
Well, as I said, this is the only score that I wrote down immediately after watching the movie.
Okay.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Wow.
I was also going to give it a 7, but then the Meteor was making music.
Oh, you like the Meteor music.
I liked the Meteor music, and I think
we made a joke that like we
Daft Punk was inside the Meteor.
Or Peter Frampton with his talk box.
Right, yeah.
Wow, wow. Or a didgeridoo. I played a didgeridoo.
And the all-original Aborigine didgeridoo player. The all-original digital Aborigine didgeridoo duo. There
Gracious.
There we go. What clip was it punching in? You played didgeridoo? Heath Ledger?
No, from Gorley. He sent us that fun little clip of I played a didgeridoo.
Of Irvin Kershner. Yes, get in here, Irvin.
More drama. This is Irvin Kershner wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. I play the didgeridoo!
I don't know. I said Heath Ledger because I saw a clip of him recently. He was on a talk show, and not recently, but you know what I mean. I saw the clip recently. He was on a talk show.
And let's cut to Heath Ledger recording a didgeridoo for us.
He's playing with, and it's Corley's voice over it. But he has a didgeridoo on the talk show, and it's Conan. Conan's like, "Can you play it?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." And he sets it. And toot, 1, 2.
He played it
Everyone
on the
starts
show.
yeah, and then he actually starts playing it for real. And he's
I
not
don't think
terrible.
I've ever seen that clip. I gotta watch that later
It's a fun clip.
because I love Conan. So yeah,
So yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8. I was gonna give it a 7, and because there's some cool synthesizer work in there, but then the Meteor started making music, and I was all in. So you gave it a 7, I gave it an 8, an average musical score of. An average musical score of 7.5. All right, we've got our last 2 ratings. Film rating. Mario, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
you go first because I'm still kind of. I'm between 2 numbers, but I want to see what you say. Not that you're gonna fix my score, but I gotta think about it because maybe you'll convince me on what number to pick.
I'm also between numbers.
You might pick it from out. Anyway,
I'm also between numbers, so I'm going to get even more between numbers, and I'm going to give it a 6.75.
Ooh.
Yeah. I liked this movie a lot. There was a lot of fun aspects to this movie. There was the scientific debate, the political debate, the general goofiness of moments like that patriotic theme playing, and the poop, the poop river gave us some laughs.
Poop river. A couple of Willy Wonka references.
And watching any movie together always makes it a little more fun. That said, the special effects are not great, and that is part of its charm. But that said, I think the slowness of the missile firing stuff and some of the cinematography just being kind of flat. For example, like the last shot where he kisses Natalie Wood, like, you could have framed that a little better. Could have given it, you know what I mean? Like, it would have behooved the movie to give us a second angle where we see her reaction. You know, I felt like some of the stuff in the film could have been shot a little bit better. It felt like a lot of people were making do with a low budget and doing the best work that they could, and I can't hold that against the film. But yeah, just a little straightforward, as we said. Okay, something's going on upstairs.
Sometimes I want to cut, like, I want to edit a video of you, like, looking
Reacting
at, like,
to things.
like a dragonfly or something, or, like, just, like, a fucking, like, a fat fairy or something, and you're just, like, looking at it. And you're like, anyways.
Come do drugs with us, Dylan. That's staying in the podcast. Yeah, so I would actually watch it again. It's not stellar, but it's interstellar. I didn't love it, but I really liked it. I was trying to decide between a 6.5 and a 7, which is why I put it at 6.75, and which is all 3 of those numbers. Hey, I just like when when we said that there were things that could have been done differently if you did it now. I think some of those thought processes applied to this film. Some of the missile shots were like, okay, you guys are trying to do 2001: A Space Odyssey. So some of it didn't feel entirely like fresh, but I had a good time watching it. All right, you?
So, So yeah, I agree. It's like, so I didn't know what to expect from this film when I first looked at it at face value. But I came out of it enjoying it. Again, probably might be a factor of us watching it together and kind of laughing about certain aspects of it. But at the end, it's like you could have cleaned up some of the stuff in the script, but other than that, it's a pretty good story. It's a good concept. It's like what's a better concept than being like, we need to stop this thing that could happen. And
I say we train a bunch of drillers to go be astronauts and mine the asteroid.
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for Connery to go fly up there himself and plant like a bomb on the asteroid and like kick off of it like before.
Oh, damn it, I put it on the moon.
Yeah, it would have been the clumps. That's what I wanted. But
Clumps.
just what a story of like the Americans and the Russians need to find a way to set aside their differences to save the world. And are successful, but I like that it's not it's not your cliche save the world movie, because there's still so much loss in this movie. And it's like, wow, it's like you think, oh yeah, this is, if I read that synopsis and I'm like, oh well, yeah, we know how this is gonna end. They're gonna blow it up, and then Connor's gonna kiss the girl, and then that's the end of it. But no, that's not it. It's like half the world exploding, man. We have people like in different countries like getting hit by typhoons and avalanches and stuff. It's a very very jarring movie. It's crazy. So it's a happy ending, but at the same time not really, because they did what they could to help, but still so much destruction. It's like it's like the day after tomorrow, right? Remember that film? Like that movie, it's like, yeah, they kind of had like a decent ending, but like still so much happened.
At least only millions died.
Yeah, it could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. But yeah, so I think for that being said, I think it's good. And I think, again, I think I agree with you. I think I would watch it again. Maybe fast forward through some stuff. There's some sequences that take way too fucking long. I understand. We want the suspense of like, all right, are they going to hit? Are they going to make contact? Is it all going to be? We had the idea of like maybe it's all a dream, and Connor's going to wake up and be like, oh, well, that would have been a pain in the ass,
or a simulation, like it was in Wrong Is Right.
Yeah. So like, what you're like expecting? You're like, is there going to be a twist here? And then, but no, at the end of it, boom, they blow it up. Movie's over. Call it a day. So I think for that being said, I think it's good. I think it's pretty good. So I was, funny enough, stuck between the same numbers as you. But I think I'm going to lean towards the higher number. I'm going to hit it with a 7.
Okay. I dig it. For an average of 6.875. And now we move on to the most important rating of the evening.
The man, the myth, the legend, Sir Sean Connery himself.
What are you giving him, bud?
Man, I like him. I like him in this. There's like, I can't recall a very big like monologue in this. He doesn't really have a monologue moment in this movie.
He just has lines.
He just kind of like there, and he still looks good. He looks like he gives a shit about the movie, so that was good. I love seeing Connery give a shit about what he's doing. And, but yeah, I think it's a good performance, but it's not like out of this world.
Hey, but he will be in the next one, Outland, which you gave him a 9 and I gave him a 10.
Yeah, because his
performance was literally out of this world.
Yeah, he's tremendous in that movie.
He stays on Earth in this one.
Yeah, so I think he's good in this, but yeah, he's not amazing. But I'll give him his flowers here. I think he keeps it together. There's not like a bunch. It's not like a ton of like character development. We understand that. Oh yes, I'm divorced and I have 2 kids.
And my wife and my ex and I get along.
And yeah, so there's no like real like. He's not a tragic character. He's just like, we see him. He's having a good time on his boat, and he just like you know,
He's just a dude.
he's just the fucking dude, man. So I think
Very
for
smart
that,
dude.
yeah, he's smart dude. He's still the quote unquote hero here. I mean, it's a lot of heroes in this, but like it's a team of heroes. But he's definitely a standout because, of course, he's Sean Connery. He stands out in everything he does. So I think for that, I'm gonna give him a solid 8 because I enjoy him in this. I like his character. He's not tremendous, but I think he's very good. I still think he's very good. So 8 for me.
Mario, I'm going to match you, bud.
Let's go.
8 from me. I thought he was really good in this, and he pulled his weight. And yeah, he didn't really have any moments to shine, but it wasn't his film to shine. It's everyone's.
Yeah.
Like it's he and Natalie Wood and Brian Keith. They're all kind of pulling equal weight, I feel.
Yeah, he's still he's still top booking and everything else. He's on the cover of everything. It's, of course, he's the one that people are coming in for, but still, you had a great cast behind him as well.
Honestly, I'd say Carl Malden, he's a 10 in this movie. His acting is a 10. Whereas Connery's only pulling in an 8. Because I feel like, he's acting with Carl Malden, he's acting with Martin Landau, he's acting with Henry Fonda. These are respected Hollywood actors of their times. So, like, these were stars when Connery was coming up. You know what I mean? So, I think he recognizes the talent that he's working in, and he kind of pulls himself back a bit,
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, 8 from me. So let's do our averages here. Our average SH rating is a 6.25. It's getting there. Our average sexy rating is a 6.75. There's some sexiness in the film. There's a little bit there. Average musical score, 7.5. It's pretty good music. Our average film rating is a 6.875. Would we watch it again?
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. Okay. I think we both would. All right. And our average Sean rating is an 8. He's pretty good in this for a total Sean rating of 7.075, which is just below the first grade train robbery at 7.75.
Ooh. Can't dethrone the train robbery. Come on now.
It's not our highest by far. It's lower than Cuba even in the total Sean department. But yeah, so
Okay.
I think that's
Well,
the end of our ratings.
That's going to wrap it up, so. Well, good night, everyone. No, we can't leave yet because we got one more thing to do, man. Before we get out of here, we got to find out what the next episode's going to be, baby. We got to go to wheelofnames.com to spin the ever-shrinking wheel of curiosities.
I think it's your turn.
Is it my turn?
I think it's your turn.
I'm excited.
Yeah, because I think I spun LXG, right?
That's, yeah.
And then LEX spun, Meteor. I just forgot what movie we watched.
Meteor. So yeah, let me take Meteor off and make sure everything here is hunky-dory. League is still here. We don't need to watch that again.
Hunky Dory is my favorite David Bowie album.
That's a good album.
It's a great album.
Let's see. I think that's
got
everything.
Changes. It's got Andy Warhol. It's got Life on Mars. It's got Fill Your Heart. Oh, such good tunes. It's got Song for Bob Dylan.
Boop. All right, let me open this. Okay. So, again, we have a Am I sharing this, by the way? Or should we keep?
Yes, you are. You
Okay.
are.
Anyways, the wheel again is shrinking. So I think the question we ask every time we look at this wheel is, what do we want and what do we not want? Dylan, let's start with you.
Real quick, Mario. I was talking to you about this. I did a deep dive into Sean Connery's TV movie work.
Yes.
I was only able to find one of them. Like, he did a lot of TV movies. Like, we mentioned that one, Without the Grail. I couldn't find that. When the only one I was able to find, it is called Adventure Story from 1961. 1961. Adventure Story is a British television play based on the stage play by Terence Rattigan and tells the story of Alexander the Great, played by Connery, and his Conquest of Persia. It featured Connery in his first starring role, and was praised at the time for its acting.
Wow.
So I found it, and like I said, I pieced together the clips, so it's the full movie. Do we want to add this to the wheel?
If you think it's enough Connery to cover, sure.
It's 111 minutes. It's Connery in his first starring role, and he's playing Alexander the Great. I think that might merit inclusion.
All right, shall I add it to the wheel right now?
I think you should.
All right, what's it called again?
Adventure Story.
Adventure Story.
I'm kind of interested to see it.
All right. There
He
it is.
plays he is the lead character, and it looks like it's heavily. It looks like it relies on him as much as the performance of Macbeth did for his like centralness of the performance. Centrality. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, this one's on. Like, you guys are all amazing, but if I do a bad job, it all goes downhill, kind of thing. So it looks like one of those kind of plays, and I think it might warrant inclusion on the wheel.
Okay, well, there it is. It's up there now. And we're going to switch back on over
Yes,
to
you can
the
share that
wheel,
screen again.
And we're going to do that shuffle, the Connery shuffle. Hey, you tell me when to stop there, Dylan.
Wait, no. Leave it in alphabetical order. We didn't say what we want, what we don't want.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I kind of want Adventure Story now that I found it, and it like piqued my curiosity, Connery curiosity. So I kind of want to see that. I kind of want Highlander 2, and I definitely want Time Bandits.
Okay.
How about you?
I think I want either Red October.
Ooh, good one.
Perhaps Marnie. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of Marnie when I usually keep the IMDb open, and it'll just kind of go through random like trailers of films, and Marnie comes up all the time. And I always think it's James Bond because he looks just like it's a James Bond era Connery.
Yeah, it
So
looks
I'm
very
like,
similar to his From Russia with Love.
yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I'm kind of Connery curious to see that, and honestly, I wouldn't hate seeing Thunderball or Never Say Never Again doing our little back to back. I wouldn't mind. I think I'm at the point where maybe it's time.
I think I'd want to hold off on those just for a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. But I also wouldn't be opposed if we got them.
Yeah, it's like, why not? It's still it's a fun one to kind of end on because I look at the poster every day. I have the Thunderball poster hanging behind my monitor next to my Empire Strikes Back poster.
I love that poster.
I look at it all the time, and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to look up, look down, and look out for 007. I'm excited for it. But yeah, those are mine right there.
What aren't you feeling?
I think it's just the ones I know nothing about, like maybe like the Red Tent. I don't know anything about that.
Oh, the Red Tent is good.
Is it really
I've seen
good?
the Red Tent. Yeah, I watched that right after he died. It's good. The Red Tent's good. Yeah.
So okay, so yeah, maybe like that, and
I'm all set with Lilacs in the Spring.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is, but like other than that, I'm not opposed to anything really here. I think we got a nice list of things. We kind of went through. We kind of went through a lot of the greatest hits. There's still some hits here.
Oh, for sure.
But I think, we're at the point in the list now where it's like we're heading down the hill here, and I think we got some good stories to still be told here. So I'm fine with anything.
All righty. Well. Oh my God! Here we go.
All right, it's shuffling our 19 entries here.
Shuffle. Oh my God! And stop.
Okay.
Oh my God, Mario.
Dylan.
Are you ready?
To spin?
Yes.
The wheel of curiosity. Oh my God.
Oh my God!
There
Hey,
it is.
We did it.
The newest entry, Adventure Story, has
Look
hit.
at that.
Has hit on the wheel. We are going into Adventure Story.
And just as soon as it came, it leaves.
There it is. It said, "Oh, I'm stopping by for a second, and I'm getting the hell out of here." So, all right, I'm very curious about this, and another special one. If this is his first official
Starring role.
then this is gonna be an event. This is going to be a special event. So
Another just before he gets hired for Dr. No. Same year as the Macbeth performance.
oh man, all right. So I'm in for it, man. Cannot wait. Sean Connery will return in
Adventure Story.
Adventure.
And until then, folks,
I've been Mario Lima.
I've been Dylan Titus. And as all... Wait a second.
Oh no.
I forgot to... One, I forgot to thank all our patrons. We'll do the name shout out next time, just so we are a little prepared. If you are a patron out there, thank you. Thank you for supporting us. But I just wanted to drop this before we go. I completely spaced on it. There's a fire truck passing right now. Okay. That was the news I had the whole time. This is a fire truck passing.
There's a fire truck here.
There's a strong possibility, Mario, that this may be the last Connery Curious recorded in this household.
Ooh, do we want to leak the entire news, or do we want to tease it?
We'll tease it. There's a strong possibility that going forward, Connery Curious may be shot in a more studio environment.
Ooh.
So, keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out. We might see us in a different land. Maybe I won't be surrounded by Game Boys anymore. I'll be surrounded by...
Well, I mean, maybe you can bring the Game Boys.
Oh, okay. Can I play my Game Boy at the studio? That'd be fun.
Not during the podcast. That'd be rude.
I can play Pokemon and talk at the same time.
Well, I mean, we can. We haven't done a Connery Pokemon Volt Yellow in a while. All right, so I just wanted to wrap up with saying that this may be the last time we record in these environments.
Yeah. So
if there's a 2-week gap between this episode and the next, I apologize, but there's your hint as to what's going on.
Yeah, there's some big changes going on in mostly in Dylan's world. I'm just along for the ride, kinda. But there's some cool shit coming up, and I know all the details. You guys don't. You guys aren't allowed to know. But just trust me, it's gonna be
You'll
very
know in
cool.
time.
It's going to be some cool shit, man. So keep an eye out, man. Again, thanks so much for the support so far. All our patrons,
So
we
much.
appreciate you guys so much for all the love and support. Helps keep the lights on here at Connery Curious and do these podcasts, and we love doing them. We love the interactions on YouTube and Instagram and all that. So we're going to be pushing out more content.
Gives Mario and I more time to spend together.
Yeah, we get to hang out and shit.
It's never a bad thing.
Yeah, of course. So, but yeah. So, again, thanks again to all that, and we'll try this again.
Sorry about that.
Until next time, I've been Mario Lima.
And I've been Dylan Titus. And as always, folks,
stay curious.
Connery Curious.
You've been listening to Connery Curious, a Titus Compositions and Friggin' Nerds Media podcast. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Connery Curious for updates, memes, and episode clips. You can also visit Dylan on Instagram at Titus Compositions to hear other podcasts and original music, watch music videos, or even pick up a great vinyl record. For more discussion about your favorite films, comics, and games, and a network for all things nerdy, visit me, Mario, at Friggin' Nerds Media. You can rate, review, and share the podcast in-app, which helps us grow the show and reach other curious Connerys out there. Thanks for spending time with us. Have a great day. And remember, stay curious.